this video out to you guys a day late after all the other signs. So I'm really, really sorry about that. I've been feeling under the weather and I needed to get some sleep. Um, First of all, I feel like when we're talking about the love reading, there are clearly two people that you're dealing with, okay? And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, but I feel like across the two spreads, both of your spreads have a common theme and a common message. So I'm going to talk about that. Um, it's really, really, really important for you to kind of get a move on with your life, okay? Focusing on the things that make you feel good, the things that make you feel valuable, like you're contributing to the greater picture, you're contributing to humanity, you're contributing and on your own path to achieving your own wealth, achieving your own resources, and being self-sufficient. And being self-sufficient is not just, paying the bills for yourself and things like that. It's more being emotionally sufficient, feeling like you can take care of your own emotional needs and that other people um, cannot fulfill that aspect of you. Coming to the realization of that, okay? Nowadays, we rely so much on a relationship partner, a crush, to fulfill things that we kind of unfairly allocate for them to fulfill, right? And I feel like the best way to explain that is it's sort of like if you like somebody, right? And you give a lot of your time and your energy, and it's not a relationship yet, but you like somebody, you either have a crush on them or you just have a lot of feelings for them. And we start to reach out to them, right? And if we're not getting the response that we're hoping for, we can become a little bit resentful. Like, I'm putting in so much energy, so much effort, and they're not reciprocating. And it's also that the thrill of the chase and the excitement associated with the unknown, and also that communication. Is she going to respond? And things like that. It's the anticipation that can also build up this sense of excitement. And I feel like we're kind of addicted to it. We're addicted to the adrenaline rush, the highs and the lows. And I feel like over time, it can feel very, very, very taxing. It can feel very emotionally draining. And I feel like for some of you, you're almost at that point, okay? I see you reaching out to somebody, but I feel like the communication is more on the platonic level, and you're hoping maybe one day it'll change, maybe one day it'll change. And so I feel like you're not getting that reciprocity that you need. But at the same time, you feel this undercurrent between the two of you, like the chemistry, the connection. It's very undeniable. But it's also really hard to get past that friend zone, to get past that platonic stage. And because of that, I do sense that many of you are, you don't have a choice but to kind of cut your losses and try to focus on other things, okay? And then others of you, there's another relationship partner or somebody that you're dealing with, and there's a lot of chemistry and excitement and things like that. But I feel like across the board, both of these spreads are indicating to me whenever you are independent, whenever you do things on your own, you take initiative, you get things started. And I feel like things go without a hitch. Things go without a hitch whenever you're on your own, whenever you do whatever it is you're divinely guided to do. And you might have, a lot of jobs, a lot of ideas, a lot of things that you want to do with your life. A lot of hobbies too. I see a lot of people who are very creative, either, a mixture of visual artists, people that are really good at, drawing, molding, sculpting, creating something. And then I feel like that has been your emotional outlet throughout your life. Whenever you're sad, you doodle. And then I also see people who are very, very talented musically, either singing or with musical instruments, or they really, really appreciate arts and crafts and music. And those have been the creative fields have been your creative outlet. And I also feel like a lot of the times too, when you are, it's almost like relationship partners are like your muse. They inspire you to draw. They inspire you to create. They inspire you to love and appreciate music. And I almost feel this element of, in the past, you might have listened to, love songs, whatever, like cheesy love songs or whatever whatever strikes your fancy, but you never really understood what people meant in the lyrics, right? Um, it seems like every love song is the same. It's so clichéic. But lately, because someone has stirred passion within you, and because you feel kind of like you might have been too busy to, use your creative outlets as a way to channel your creative energy. And all of a sudden, the songs, they sound so relevant. They sound so pertinent to everything that you're dealing with. And you're just like, wow, I've never felt this way before. And now listening to this, it feels like this person, was dealing with the same things that I'm dealing with. And they're writing about it, and I'm listening to it, and it resonates. It's sort of like that. Finding relevance in those love songs that you might not have understood in the past. So I definitely feel, your heart chakra is open, as well as your base chakra, where there is immense sexual energy. And the sexual energy can also be channeled into creative energies, to create, to make something. So that's what I'm feeling here. There's a lot of energies for creation, and for those who are fertile and of fertile age, you want to be very careful about unwanted pregnancies and all of that. Okay, so that's on the short snippet of things. This creative energy can move mountains. It can be redirected and channeled, and it will be able to kind of like propel you to a new phase in your life. But I also feel like it's a little bit trapped on the relationship front. It's a little bit too channel, too focused on the relationship front, and not enough of it is focused on self-care. Not enough of it is focused on doing you. Channeling this creative energy so that you can create things, so that you can, fulfill that need for you to create, that need for you to make something out of nothing. And I feel like in a way, a lot of Sagittarius people, um, well, fire signs in general, your need to create, your need to build, your need to create something from scratch. And I feel like that brings a great sense of satisfaction. So you have a lot of energy here, and I feel like it needs to be devoted towards self-care, self-maintenance, as well as taking better care of yourself, okay? Just on the emotional front, doing things that you enjoy, hiking, outdoor activities, doing creative projects. I feel like that's where it's meant to go, okay? So in the love department, this is your energy here. This is what you're bringing to the table. I have here the Eight of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles is it's a work card. It's like the worker bees of the entire 78 cards in the deck. Okay, this is like managing a lot of different projects, going to work, and also feeling like the workday is a little bit monotonous, feeling like every day is just same old, same old. Going through the grind, nose to the grindstone, and keeping your head low, and just getting everything that's expected of you to be done. You might work in a system where you have quotas. You have to meet your daily, quota, your daily numbers. And it just feels overall a little bit uninspiring. Okay, on the one hand, finances seems to be going well. On the other hand, it just feels like uninspiring. It feels like there must be more to this life. There must be more to what I'm doing. There must be a better place for me to apply my skills. And I feel as well, many of you are very, very grateful to have the abundance in your life right now, or at least you're starting to create that abundance. So you're not ungrateful that, oh, I'm at this job, it's not strenuous, it's not overly strenuous. I'm not at least outdoors in the midday sun, wasting away doing construction or something like that, or doing some really strenuous activity for a living. I'm at least, in an environment where I can deal with papers, I can deal with things that are predictable, and at least, I have a salary, I have benefits, and things like that. So you are innately taking stock of everything that you have. So you are very grateful and thankful. But I feel like you want a break in the routine. You're looking for a break in your routine. And so naturally, the break in the routine can be something that stirs your passion, okay? And that's why I would say the creative outlet serves to be a better channel for you to find that break in the routine, find that personal enjoyment. What I feel you doing instead, though, is venturing off and looking at relationships, okay? So this is the Ace of Wands. This is passion. It's almost like molten lava. It's really, really hot. It's really hot passion, chemistry, excitement that you feel towards another person. For some of you, it could be another fire sign, another Sagittarius, an Aries, or a Leo. For others, it could be an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. And either way, this is really intense passion and chemistry. It's almost like I can't really touch this person. I'm going to get burned. It's that heavy and it's that intense. And when I get this card, I look at the scars. It always draws me. And it's almost like I've reached out so many times and I feel like I can't do it anymore. Some of you might have reached out to another person and I feel like you're waiting for the response, and it's not exactly the response that you want or you were expecting. And then I also feel like, you've had your own bad shares of relationship partners that made you question your self-esteem, relationship partners that didn't care about you and didn't devote to you and didn't, appreciate everything that you had to offer. And so you come in with a little bit of a chip on your shoulders, trying to make this relationship work. And it can be very disheartening when at the end of the day, we realize that somebody is not really reciprocating our emotions, or they're not providing that emotional nurturing for us. And over again, you are a sign that forgives. You forgive people. You understand that people have their deficits. And I feel like, yes, there's great chemistry here, but it seems almost like out of touch, out of reach. Somebody's out of reach. Somebody is either not responding, they could be ghosting, or somebody is just clearly out of reach and dealing with. I have the High Priestess. This is a spiritual leader, okay? This is somebody that really enjoys their own company, okay? This is also somebody that is guided by divine principles. They hide their emotions really well, okay? I almost feel like this person is either a spiritual leader, somebody who's very, very spiritual. They could be very religious, or they are just somebody that's like, I'm okay by myself. I'm going to, take the time off and be by myself, be on my own. They love their own company. They have a lot of wisdom and knowledge and insights into human character as well. So I feel like they are aware of the connection that you have between the two of you. They're not, stupid. They feel things, and they feel the vibrations before the physical thing even appears. So it's almost like, how you Sagittarius people tend to walk a little fast? You have either you walk fast, or you move in a very deliberate way. You get things done. And it's almost like when they're around you, even before you turn the corner, they can feel the vibrations of your footsteps. So they're that sensitive. They are aware of your presence. They are aware of when you turn the corner, when you're in the same room, there could be a lot of other people. They are very aware of your presence, and they might even notice you. but I feel like their energy is one that is very platonic, and they're forcing themselves to be this way. There's an element here of something being out of reach, something being not appropriate, something being kind of forbidden, or something that is a little bit taboo between you and somebody that you're interested in. And so they're kind of like playing the role of the onlooker rather than the pursuer. And Sagittarius, you have a natural tendency to pursue. You know, you're a cardinal sign, you get things started. And when you feel the object of your affection, you beeline it for that person. And so your intentions, your feelings are actually very, very clear. I just want you to understand that. The way you feel about another person is very, very crystal clear. They are aware of how you feel about them. And the energy flows mutually, because this Ace of Wands is in the center of this love spread. It means that on both sides, you both feel it, okay? There's no denying chemistry is really strong, and there's no denying there is really strong passion and just desire and that physical attraction that we have towards another person. You find them mysterious. You find them very caring, but very aloof. They give great advice. They give great wisdom, and they have like a ton of just life experiences under their belt. But I also feel like there's an element here of a divide, almost like an emotional divide between two people. And it's really hard to bridge, okay? And so the other person I feel like that you're dealing with as well, we have here the Queen of Swords. This is an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And I feel like it might even be the same person. There's an air of aloofness about them. The blues, the iciness, the cold, I feel like somebody feels like you bring a lot of great passion into their life, okay? It's almost like this flame is so overwhelming. It's so nice. They've been out in the cold for quite some time. And so they want to come by and, warm up their hands, warm up their hearts, nearby this fire that you've kind of stirred up within them. So you're definitely being noticed, but I feel like there's a lot of lack of activity coming in from the partner. And I feel like it can make you really question your reality. Like, if they like me, why won't they come forward to me? And if they like me, why won't they make their feelings known? I've made my feelings known, right? As a cardinal sign, that's how we do things. We go for our object of affection, and we tell them how we feel. But I see a lot of closed off energy. It seems as if the person that you're dealing with, they're stuck in some type of a limbo here with the Hangman. They're in a situation where they want to reach out too, but they're tied and tethered to other things. Possibly a home, a marriage, another family, another relationship. Or they're at a point in their life right now where they're focusing on themselves and how to, better themselves, that they can't give you what they feel you deserve. So somebody that you're dealing with is that spiritually evolved, where they see the reality of a situation, and as a result of it, they're holding back. They're holding back. But rest assured, I definitely feel that they know the connection is there. They feel the connection. And in a way, they know how you feel about them. They really, really know on a deep intrinsic level that this chemistry, it's not just physical desire. It stems from something deeper. It stems from, two souls trying to create a union with each other, and even past life energies. But there are so many things, entanglements that they need to take care of from their end, and they're not able to make an offer to you. Okay? So my advice for you is to draw back and let them come forward. Let them kind of warm themselves up first, okay? They've been in some type of isolation chamber. They've been kind of cold and distant, mainly because they weren't getting that attention, that love, and that reciprocity in their own relationships. So this is the only way they know how to act. And as a result of it, they can't go from 0 to 60. They need to gradually warm up, test out the waters, sort things out from their life. And so you want to, they need to be the ones to cut themselves free. You're not coming in as the knight in shining armor, rescuing anybody. People need to move on their own time. The Queen of Swords, she's got a sword, right? It's not depicted in this picture. And that man, he's like hanging by some type of a rope, right? So the natural inclination is use that sword to cut yourself free. But they're not ready yet. So everything is going to happen in divine timing. And as much as I hate saying it to you, Sagittarius, you just have to wait. Okay? I'm sorry about that. Other areas of your life, there is another spiritual advice that's coming through. And I feel like you might have an earth sign. And this might be somebody that you have children with, okay? So I see like a family unit, possibly a marriage, a housing situation, and things like that. So I feel like there are some, it's like family loyalties being tested. That's what I'm feeling. So, for example, if you're dealing with parents that are, splitting up, separating, or divorcing, the children are talking about like who's going to take care of mom, who's going to take care of dad, who's going to volunteer their house to allow mom to live in, and then allow dad to live in. So I see those conversations brewing. They're not like out in the open because that's kind of tactless. And it's our parents, so we don't really have those calculating thoughts. But I feel like these are practical considerations that are happening in real time. So there's an element here about somebody purchasing a home and then having conversations. And I feel this in the Four of Wands as well as the Ace of Wands. Marriage, and then, housing purchases, new properties, new place of dwelling, new place of employment even. But I feel like somebody is saying, okay, well, I'm getting married. There might be marriages happening with your children. There might be as well, even moving the relationship to the next level and attending weddings, attending parties and things like that, or discussions about wedding that you're going to hear about. And I'm hearing some people, like with children in particular, if you are of retirement age and, you're thinking about where it's settled, I feel like the kids want you to live with them. There might be, children coming into the picture and they want you to be around to watch the kids grow, but also to take care of the kids. And you would gladly do that. And there's also an element of you needing to move things along in your life and not let life stagnate. So I see those elements coming through. I also feel like if you are with an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and you're in a relationship, there might be like a change in your living situation, a change in your living environment, or like some type of arguments coming through where the family loyalty is going to be tested. Okay, so I have this earth sign here, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is somebody that is really, really, really slow to act. They lack initiative. And they scan the horizon. They wait for the right signal, and they never will act. If it were up to them, nothing would get done. The moss would be growing, the plants, the grass, everything would be overgrowing. Okay, so you're trying to get them moving. I feel like either changing residence, talking about a change in residence. And I feel like there are a lot of good news that are coming into the picture, but I feel like you're frustrated with somebody because of their lack of incentive. Their lack of incentive, their lack of ability to reciprocate, or their lack of ability to bring, like imagine you're going to a potluck and everybody's bringing something, right, to contribute. And this person doesn't, and over and over again, they don't. And it's like, how do you talk to them? Do you become tactless and just tell them, hey, stop being so selfish? Or do you enable that behavior by just sweeping it under the rug? So I feel like there's that element there. And Sagittarius, you're not usually a confrontational sign. You're not, okay? But I feel like some things need to be said to maintain that balance. There's a natural balance to the universe. And I feel like if we sense the imbalance, we need to address it. We need to redirect that energy. And if we want people to do certain things, we need to verbalize it. We need to verbalize it. We can't fault somebody for not doing what we want them to do if we never address that with them, right? It sounds like intuitive, right? But as humans, we behave in ways that are very emotionally irrational. We get mad at people and at situations for, not being able to read your mind, like not being able to read to know what we want and what we expect them to do when we never properly address it. So there are things here where you're going to have to kind of change the way that you behave and change the way in which you deal with another person. You definitely need to be more verbal and expressive, for sure, because what you feel is a lot of passion. But on the flip side of it, it's also a lot of aggression and rage, okay? And so I apologize, but I'm going to have to say this. Don't be on the sideline and sulk and get pissy if you're not getting what you want from another person when all along you have not communicated what you wanted. Okay, so there's that element coming through. And for those of you who might get, offended, okay, keep in mind, I'm a Sagittarius moon, and I feel like a lot of the times, Sagittarius moon, you guys are very spiritual by nature, and you do a lot for other people. You intuitively sense what they need, and you take care of them, okay? And even Sagittarius sun. And it's not like you don't do things with strings attached, but I feel like it's really hard for you to talk about your needs, and it's really hard for you to express yourself and tell other people because you don't want to infringe upon their right? Their free will. But it needs to be said, okay? So I hope the reading is helpful for you guys. It's a little bit scattered. I'm still, a little bit sick, so I don't know how much of it is me being sick and how much of it is just the energy that's flowing through, but I hope the reading is helpful for you guys, and I hope it's relevant, and I hope that it is helpful in helping you navigate this week, okay? But either way, take care of yourself, Sagittarius, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.